Hey guys, it's your lonely boy here. Game of Thrones, A Song of Ice and Fire. With every season, the stakes keep getting higher. And spoiler alert, now they're over the wall. And in this video, we plan on, spoiler alert, breaking down the wall. Now what if we told you that Bronn was the Night King? But first, don't forget to like, favorite, and subscribe. Well first, let's talk about Bronn. Bronn is sarcastic with a dark sense of humor and a pragmatic, amoral philosophy for life. However, he is not completely heartless, nor is he sadistic. He openly expresses sympathy for Tyrion Lannister after making the pragmatic decision not to champion him during his second trial by combat.
After Tyrion asks him if he would murder an innocent civilian without question, Bronn denies it and claims that he would ask for a price, implying that he would demand a very high price for such a despicable deed. Despite Bronn's vicious nature, which is sneered upon by more honourable knights, he's a skilled, dangerous fighter.
Wait, so what does he have in common with the Night King? Why is he the Night King? Well, first let's talk about the Night King. Before he became a White Walker, the Night King was a first man that was captured by the children of the forest, Leaf among them. Leaf pressed a dragon-glass dagger into his chest, causing his eyes to turn blue and turning him into the first of the White Walkers. The children of the forest created the White Walkers to defend themselves when Westeros was invaded by the First Men, who were cutting their sacred trees and slaughtering them. We don't know much about the Night King, but we know he has the ability to make White Walkers and raise the dead. Or whites for you Game of Thrones buffs out there, buddy. Now, we know that time travel is possible in the Game of Thrones universe, and we know that Bran, now the Three-Eyed Raven, has had the ability to manipulate events in the past, i.e. Ned Stark noticing his presence in episode 3 of season 6 and hold the door, or Hodor. Now, foreshadowing has always been a factor in the story of Game of Thrones, like when Walder Frey died in a very similar fashion to Catelyn Stark, when a weirwood tree induced a vision of Daenerys Targaryen flying over the Red Keep in episode 6 of season 6. When Roose Bolton murdered Robb Stark to become king in the North in a very similar fashion to Ramsay Bolton murdering Roose Bolton to become king in the North. But what about when Bronn impales Drogon in episode 4 of season 7, and then the Night King impales Viserion in episode 6 of season 7? One of the key messages that has been conveyed across the Game of Thrones timeline is change. Daenerys started her journey across the Narrow Sea in Pentos as ultimately a means to buy Viserys Targaryen an army. Now, she is the breaker of chains and the mother of dragons. Jon Snow started as a bastard from Winterfell and is now king in the North, and the entire show frequently brings up the transition from summer to winter. Now who's to say that Bronn isn't the Night King? We know that the children of the forest have the ability to change man to White Walker, or Bronn to Night King. Now that we know about Bran's all-seeing abilities or warging from Thronies out there, he does have the ability to alter the past. Once again, Hodor. How did the Night King know that entrapping the King in the North, or Jon Snow, beyond the wall in season 7 of episode 6 would force Daenerys to come to the rescue, or Viserion to come to the rescue, giving the Night King the Ice Dragon? If you notice, the Ice King takes down Viserion in pretty much the same way as Bronn attempts to take down Drogon. This time, the Night King, or Bronn, hits a more vulnerable spot on the dragon. Could this have been through practice across different points? In time? In alternate realities? Well, Bronn, being the Night King, could also be signalling the end of Game of Thrones and the known world itself. In the philosophy of time travel, it states that the primary universe is fraught with great peril, war, plague, famine, and natural disaster. This represents Westeros, the Easteros, and the universe where the bulk of the show takes place. The War of the Five Kings, Robb's War, Robert's Rebellion, and now Westeros versus the Army of the Dead. The paradox of Hodor being that without Bran, there would be no Hodor, but Hodor's Hodoring was caused in the future, and without the future Hodor, there would be Hodorless Willis. This paradox could have broke the fabric of time and resulted in the creation of a tangent universe. In the philosophy of time travel, it states, if a tangent universe occurs, it will be highly unstable, sustaining itself for no longer than several weeks. In the movie Donnie Darko, Frank specifies this as 28 days, 6 hours, 42 minutes and 12 seconds. In Game of Thrones, instead of it being a set time limit, it could just be until winter is here. The Maesters have already declared the arrival of winter, but they could be wrong. They still don't believe in the Night King.
Winter is here.
Or Bronn. The universe does have ways to sustain itself, to get back on track to the primary universe through the manipulated living and the manipulated dead. Winter is coming could just be a subconscious means to allow the universe to correct itself through the manipulated living, like Celador in the Tangent Universe Donnie Darko creates. Winter is Coming is just an attempt to guide the Tangent Universe back on track toward the primary universe. All men must die could just be a warning from the many-faced god or the manipulated living that the universe is coming to an end. Could the Night King and the army of the dead be the manipulated dead? That sounds cool, but they aren't. In the philosophy of time travel, it states that the universe, the manipulated dead and the manipulated living can only act towards a living receiver. Who is the living receiver, you ask? Bronn. The Night King has also been shown to be able to interact with Bronn while he walks, showing that the Night King has the ability to be able to see across time, past and present. The possibility of the Night King creating some paradoxes of his own are very high. This means that the living receiver in which the manipulated dead and the manipulated living interact with are both